the issue of data and security is growing, and it's a concern for government, business, and the individual. Where do you see that the responsibility lies for the security and data issues in those sort of three areas?
Shall I start? So my answer to that, I guess the obvious answer is all three. I think absolutely government needs to play its part. I think, as we've heard in some of the other talks this morning, there's no way that government can do it all. Absolutely not. I think for me, there's the international coordination angle, really important. Government can do. There's some sort of policy, helping create frameworks that allow, us all, whether it be service providers or government organisations, to fit into a common framework and then work efficiently to develop cybersecurity, whether it be frameworks around skills or standards or model architectures, or so there's streams of activities around that are really important.
If you don't mandate certain requirements of your supply chain to provide sufficient sort of availability, resilience, sufficient security to protect your assets in whatever environment you're deploying it in, be it cloud, virtualization, be it to building your own widget on your desk. Government needs to be an educated customer, and suppliers need to be a trusted expert.
Following on from a couple of points you made there, Gareth, about the security requirements. Now, we talked about this earlier, about why aren't security requirements built in from the start? I mean, this is something we've been talking about for years, and it's still not happening.
As a supplier, we try to do as much as we can, but you are at that constant battle of budget and everything else that's going on, and making sure it actually gives the customer the capability that they want. So it is really important that customers do request security as a requirement from the beginning. Because also, if you do it later down the line, as you're all aware, it can cost a hell of a lot more money and time to rectify later on. So need to design it in from the beginning.
Start the engagement early. I think from our perspective, increasingly actually in public procurements, we do see more standard. I think things like codes of connection to things like the PSN have driven some consistency. But there is a shift at the moment, I think, to empower departments more to take a judgment on the basis of their data and what controls they need to put in place. That brings with it some challenges into departmental working, where if different departments take different judgments when they're passing data between them, there's some challenges around that. And in general terms, I think flexibility is good. Actually, empowering departments to give them flexibility is good, but that doesn't mean that the answer can be, well, in which case, because there's no mandatory book, that means we don't have to do it. I think that isn't the intent. I believe in the shift. It's making the appropriate judgment, and depending on what you're doing, actually, you might not have to put a great deal of in, but for some things you really do, even at official, essentially.